Hello everyone, the December Review here, back again with a movie review. Today, we have the newest installment of the Scream franchise, titled Scream. Well, it's actually Scream 5, but they just called it Scream. Much like Halloween calling the 2018 film Halloween, but it was really Halloween 2, not to be confused with the original Halloween 2 or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is a direct continuation after Scream 4, so it's Scream 5, but it's called Scream.
Samantha? I know who you are.
I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is gonna keep coming for you. You ready for this? Never.
Spoilers are ahead. I'll try to keep some things vague, but there are points I'd like to mention that require the spoiler warning. Hold on a sec. Hello?
Well, hello, the December Review. How's it going?
Oh, hey, random stranger. Not bad. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, all things considered. Just got a new record player, one of those USB ones, so I'm looking forward to hearing how it sounds.
Well, that's cool. You should check out the latest St. Vincent album. It's pretty great.
Oh, thanks for the recommendation. I'll check it out.
So I'm in the middle of a movie review. Have to go now.
Wait a minute. What's your favorite scary movie?
It's Halloween, the original one, not those lame cash grab sequels or remakes.
Halloween, huh? Okay. Well, it's time to play a game. Answer this one question correctly, and I'll let you finish the review. Get it wrong, and I'll...
Hello? Hello?
And the thing have the time.
Breaking up. Hello?
Seven.
Well, guess he should have got a new phone instead of a record player, huh? It's been 25 years since the original events of the first film took place in our town of Woodsboro. We meet Tara Carpenter, who will be our customary Ghostface target to open the film. After the usual question and answers segment goes south, Ghostface shows up to dispatch Tara and kick off the next wave of mystery murders. But wait! This time, our opening victim survives. Enter Samantha Carpenter, or Sam, the estranged sister to Tara, who, after 5 years away from Woodsboro, hears of the incident and heads back to check on her. We meet the new circle of friends that include Amber, siblings Chad and Mindy, Chad's girlfriend Liv, Sam's boyfriend Richie, and Wes, whose mother Judy Hicks has become the town's sheriff. So what of our former sheriff, you ask? Well, Dewey is still in town, only now retired or slightly pushed off the force, and is divorced from Gail, who's now off continuing her career in LA. Now a bit of a recluse who spends his days watching Gail every morning on TV and seemingly not venturing out of the house much. That all changes once the new Ghostface kicks off this round of cat and mouse hijinks, bringing with it the return of Gail Weathers and, of course, one Sidney Prescott. Hello?
Hello again, the December Review. Sorry about that before. I hit a bad zone. I really need to look into a different cell service.
Yeah, so look, I'm kind of busy here.
Yes, so where was I? Oh, yeah. Answer this one question correctly and I'll let you finish the review. Get it wrong and you will experience an unimaginable fate. Hello? Hello? Look, answer this one question correctly. Get it wrong and you will experience an unimaginable fate. In Halloween, what day did Michael Myers start his badness on?
Well, that's easy. October 31st, 1978. Your question is, what day does Halloween take place? Like on Halloween, duh. There's a whole lot to enjoy in the new Scream film, but also a few things that left me a bit perplexed. The road to get Part 5 on the screen was a tough one. With the passing of the only director the franchise has seen, the legendary Wes Craven, the mere idea of this movie seemed like a long shot. It also was just the second film in the series not written by Kevin Williamson. But unlike the somewhat unfocused Part 3 where he wasn't involved as much, the script here is a much more in line with the first film. So much so that one could in fact call this Scream The Force Awakens, or The Scream Awakens, or The Last Scream, or Rise of the Screamwalkers.
Hello, Sydney.
Some of the brilliance that the series has, which changed the landscape of horror movies in historic ways, was the course of meta nature of being hyper aware that these characters are in a horror film. They have rules, they have tropes, and they are openly discussed and they are followed. For this fifth entry, the focus isn't so much about the classic slasher of years past, but more so what's been released in the years since Part 4. We get references to It Follows, The Witch, and Hereditary, and the rules here have switched from sequel to requel, a phrase used during the film and exactly the type of movie we get here. I mentioned Star Wars because so does this film, a lot. More specific, Rian Johnson, whose Knives Out also gets a nod. More interesting is the Last Jedi concept of fan backlash, which is a big motivating factor here in this Scream. But just to get ultra meta, the real mitigating factor in Part 5 is the Stab franchise. Those films within the Scream films that were based off the actual events of the Scream movies. Seems someone's taken their love of Stab a bit too far, more importantly, the less than stellar Stab sequels, and are determined to bring the Stab series back to its roots, by taking out anyone related to the actual events in Scream, so the next Stab will have a better material to work with. And that's a pretty darn good concept which fits perfectly in the world that Scream has created for all these years. Like many films, this can be broken down into the three segments. First, our introductions, which I felt did a great job of setting up the stage. Our new main character, Sam, and her backstory and relationship with Tara are very well constructed here. Sam is linked back to one of the original members of the first film, and how that manifests into the story was very interesting. The pair share a rather emotional hospital scene when they first meet up again, which is a rare find in these types of films. Mindy jumps into the Randy role, fitting as they are related, as the eccentric, all-knowing fan of the genre. The character is also quite funny and a standout in the movie. There's an excellent sequence with Wes and Judy that had a nice amount of suspense and hit home as it unfolded. The second act gets a bit bogged down with your typical odd choices being made. Someone gets left alone when they shouldn't have been. A giant party where everyone gets together in the house of the first film while Ghostface is still out there, and heading into the basement by yourself. For a town so lessoned in horror cliches, they sure do let a few get by 'em. One of the hallmarks of the series is the many red herrings thrown our way. Part of the fun is trying to guess who the masked or multiple masked crazies could be. Everyone is a suspect, and the film goes to great lengths to point that out. The benefit of suspecting everyone is that even if you do guess it correctly, there's enough self-doubt to still make things a potential surprise. The subterfuge here was excellent. The third act is what it is. Most of the fun in these films is the big reveal, and for me the concept behind it's pretty interesting, but the payoff was a bit of a letdown. Not so much in the who, but in the how we got there. Which brings me back to Star Wars. You know how in The Force Awakens some of those legacy characters, as they're referred to now, they're just kinda there? Unfortunately, outside of Dewey, you could have excluded Sidney and Gale, and I don't think it would have mattered much. And that's a bit of a letdown, especially with Sidney, seeing how that character is among the all-time greats in the genre. It's Samantha's show this time, and I'm grateful Nev was able to be here at all. And there is one big situation I must mention. Someone here is supposed to do something to someone that somehow defies the laws of physics. Not to mention they take a few close-range shots Michael Myers style and yet keep on keeping on. How this is remotely possible isn't explained, but it's also a very important moment. For such a smart script, it's a noticeable issue. Overall, Scream 5, or Scream, is a rather good, bordering on great chapter in the franchise. The concepts that Wes and Kevin created were lovingly continued by the new regime, and that classic Scream feel was ever present. The new cast did a great job crafting their own storyline, as Sam and Tara's arc weave through the established mythos quite well. The requel concept was used to its best potential, as the film paid tribute to all that's come before it while forging ahead. I would have liked to have seen a better reason for Gale and Sidney to be involved, other than just needing to be there because it's Ghostface and Woodsboro. I give Scream 4 out of 5 stars on the Ghostface scale. What?
Well, hello, the December review. You hung up a little too soon the last time. Our little game wasn't finished yet.
But I answered your question correctly. You said, what day did Halloween take place? And it was October 31st, 1978.
Oh, that's right. Except for one small detail, Mr. TDR. I didn't ask what day the film took place. I asked what day he started his madness, and that was October 31st, 1963, with Judith Myers. So sorry. You lose.
Yeah, okay, so that's a technicality, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
It's not what I'm going to do, but what you're doing next. I know you purchased the 25th anniversary Scream 4K Steelbook, and now you're going to do an unboxing for it.
Not another Steelbook unboxing. These things are all the same. Sure, it's great to have the 4K, but it's just bare bones 2-picture metal case. I can't. I won't.
Go to your refrigerator.
Where's my ice cream?
I'll return it once the 4K is done.
Okay, so now it's bonus unboxing time. It's the 4K 25th anniversary of Scream. Oh. Well, it's kind of close enough. '25th anniversary of Scream. Let's check this thing out.
Hello, Sidney. It's an honor.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel for more, and let me know your thoughts on Scream 5 in the comments section below.